January 26th of 2015. I woke up with all of my cervical lymph nodes, all these lymph nodes here, very big and swollen and hard, and the biggest one was like 4.5 by 5.5 centimeters. And to make a long story short, I went through a very difficult process. I'm a physician. I went to Mass General. I had to diagnose myself. They missed the pathology with something called Wegener's granulomatosis. So it's a very rare autoimmune disease where it kills off your capillaries. So eventually, within 5 years, usually, get very sick and can die of organ failure because you don't get blood to your organs. And they also couldn't rule out whether or not I had lymphoma. But intuitively, I already was an integrative physician. I'm a psychiatrist, and so intuitively I kind of knew, this doesn't feel right. And so I decided to just kind of reject general health care. I read something called the Walls Protocol, changed my diet. I was a vegetarian at the time and went to an energy healer, which I had never done. And I started getting better. My disease markers turned around. I didn't worry about whether I had cancer. I have small children, so I wanted to make sure I lived. But it was very hard to function. I'm a very high energy person normally, and I wasn't doing well, so I still needed more. There was something I was not healing all the way. I still was afraid I was going to, maybe I'd put a few more years on my life, but I definitely was not completely healed at all. So I couldn't really function. I had a very big practice. I had to cut back. I don't even know, honestly, looking back, how I maintained it. I heard a talk on Hay House Radio from Dr. Joe, and as a neuroscientist myself, I was like, he totally has it. I love quantum physics. I love neuroscience. So I read You Are the Placebo. I wasn't a great meditator. I started, if I had done 10 minutes of meditation, I was like, woo, yay. But the first time I did his You Are the Placebo meditation, and I sat for the whole hour. And the greatest thing happened because I came out of it crying with joy. And there was no joy in my life at that time except for my kids. But my kids were traumatized as they thought their mommy was going to pass away. So I got hooked. I got addicted. So I did it every single day. This was in May of 2016. And by the time I went to the Progressive Workshop in Toronto, I would say I was 95% better. And I went into that workshop with some remnants of shingles on my back. And by the end of the weekend, I had nothing. And so I got very hooked. Over the next several months, again, I kept doing it every single day. I think I missed 3 days of meditation around Christmas. And then by the time I went to Lake Garda to my first advanced workshop, I was 100% cured. So I feel compelled to tell this story because as a physician, this works better than anything we could ever prescribe. Regular physicians can't wrap their mind around it. I don't have a lot of family, but the family I do thinks I'm pretty crazy. It's a very hard story for people to buy. But the good thing is my children paid attention, and they see that you can create your own reality. And so that I'm actually pretty grateful for. But a lot of friends also, because as a physician, you have a lot of physician friends. A lot of my friends are kind of like, what? So that's been a little bit hard, but it's all good. I'm finding my tribe.